There are creams that cost $200, $300, and more. They come in heavy glass jars with names in Latin, with stories about rare ingredients extracted from plants that only grow in a specific valley in the Swiss Alps. And when someone analyzes them ingredient by ingredient, what they sometimes find is water, glycerin, a couple of silicones, and a preservative. The same thing you'd find in a $12 drugstore cream, just with better packaging. That's not always the case, but it happens far more often than the marketing wants you to know. Today we're going to talk about 5 specific products, affordable, easy to find, that have formulations any luxury cosmetic would envy. I'm Dr. Liséth López, a physician with studies in dermatology, and in the next few minutes I'm going to show you what actually makes a product genuinely good from a formulation chemistry standpoint, and why price is almost never the determining factor. We're going to go through all 5 products one by one, explaining which active ingredient does the real work and why their cost-to-benefit ratio is hard to beat. Nothing in this video is advertising. No brand is paying me to appear here. If a product makes this list, it's because of its formulation, not its marketing budget. Stay until the end, because the 5th product is probably already sitting in your home right now, and almost nobody is using it correctly. To understand why an inexpensive product can outperform an expensive one, you need to understand how pricing actually works in cosmetics. A cream has 2 types of costs: the cost of its actual formulation, the active ingredients, the base, the preservatives, and the cost of everything else: the packaging, the advertising campaign, the contracts with brand ambassadors, the shelf space in luxury retail stores. There are luxury brands where the formulation itself costs less than 5% of the final price of the product. The remaining 95% is image, distribution, and marketing. That doesn't mean all expensive creams are bad. Some have real innovation behind them. But it does mean that the retail price has a very weak relationship with the quality of what's actually inside the jar. Reading the ingredient list in order from highest to lowest concentration is the only way to truly know what you're buying. And once you know how to do that, some drugstore products look very impressive. The first product worth highlighting is Nivea's Urea Cream. Nivea's Urea Cream, the one in the blue tin with 10% urea, has something many luxury creams simply can't claim: decades of clinical studies on its primary ingredient. Urea is a natural humectant that the body itself produces as part of the skin's natural moisturizing factor. At a 10% concentration, it combines 2 simultaneous functions. It draws water toward the stratum corneum from deeper layers and has a gentle keratolytic action, meaning it helps remove accumulated dead skin cells without needing a physical exfoliant. For dry, mature skin with that rough texture that intensifies after 40, that combination is exactly what's needed. What would a $200 cream need to offer to surpass that? It would need to deliver something urea can't. And many of them don't. They have ingredients that sound great in marketing: seed extract of something, marine origin proteins, but they appear so far down on the ingredient list that their actual concentration is almost homeopathic. Nivea's cream also has a dense, occlusive texture that seals in hydration. For high friction areas like elbows, knees, and heels, it's hard to find anything better at that price. The second product has an active ingredient that shows up in creams costing over $100, but at a concentration that the drugstore version matches without any trouble. And the price of the drugstore product is a fraction of the luxury version. The difference between the two isn't the active ingredient, it's the jar. The second product is The Ordinary's Vitamin C Serum. The Ordinary is technically a drugstore and mass market brand, though you can now find it in many channels. I'm including it here because it breaks exactly the logic that connects price to quality in cosmetics. Their vitamin C serum in a silicone suspension, the version with 23% ascorbic acid, has one of the highest concentrations available on the market for topical use. Ascorbic acid at that concentration has solid evidence for collagen synthesis, antioxidant protection, and reduction of hyperpigmentation. Many luxury creams that list vitamin C as a star ingredient carry it at 1 or 2%. That sells well, but the clinical effect at that concentration is considerably lower. There's a nuance here you can't ignore. Pure ascorbic acid is unstable. It oxidizes with light and heat. You need to store it properly, in a cool, dark place, and check the color regularly. When it shifts from clear to intense yellow or orange, it has oxidized and loses its effectiveness. That is a real limitation of the product, and it's worth saying so. But if you store it correctly and use it before it oxidizes, you're getting an active with decades of evidence at a concentration that competes directly with products costing 5 to 10 times as much. It's best applied in the morning, before sunscreen, because that's where it best fulfills its function as an antioxidant. The third product is a pure glycerin lotion, or glycerin with rose water. This is the simplest one on the list, and the one that generates the most skepticism. Glycerin is one of the most studied humectants in cosmetic dermatology. It draws water from the environment and from deeper layers toward the skin surface and has emollient properties that improve skin texture. Systematic reviews document its effectiveness for dry skin and its role in reinforcing barrier function. A 99% glycerin lotion, or the diluted version with rose water that you can find in drugstores and cosmetic supply stores, has the active ingredient at maximum concentration without fillers or actives that sound impressive but don't contribute anything measurable. Why don't most expensive creams use pure glycerin at 99%? Because at that concentration, in dry environments, it can actually have the opposite of the desired effect. It may pull water from deeper layers toward the surface where it evaporates. That's why it should be used diluted or applied to slightly damp skin and then sealed with an emollient on top. That is the usage key that turns it into a high-performance active. Apply it to damp skin, then a cream on top. That one extra step is what makes the difference between it working extraordinarily well and doing nothing at all. A bottle of glycerin lotion with rose water costs less than a cup of coffee and lasts for months. The fourth product has something no luxury cream can easily replicate, an evidence base built over 50 years, and the pharmacy price has been the same for decades. Because when something works this well, it doesn't need to reinvent itself to justify its existence. Without question, product number 4 is pure petroleum jelly, or Pond's cold cream. Petroleum jelly is the most studied occlusive in dermatology. Its capacity to reduce transepidermal water loss has been documented since the 1970s. You apply a layer to the skin and it forms a barrier that prevents the water already present in the dermis from evaporating. What does a barrier-repairing luxury cream that costs $150 actually do? Essentially the same thing, with additional ingredients that in many cases have weaker evidence than pure petroleum jelly. That said, petroleum jelly does have one well-known limitation. Its dense, occlusive texture is not pleasant for daily use on the face. That's where looking for alternatives makes sense. But for elbows, heels, cuticles, lips, and as the final step of an intensive nighttime routine, it's hard to find anything cheap or expensive that beats it for pure moisture retention. Pond's cold cream, which has been manufactured since 1907, has a more emollient formulation than pure petroleum jelly. Its ingredients include mineral oil, beeswax, and water, which gives it a more manageable texture and makes it a more comfortable option for the face. Its use as a cleanser and as a nighttime moisturizer has decades of loyal users, and its base formulation hasn't needed major changes because the original formula already works. Today, there are high-end anti-aging creams whose core composition contains practically the same ingredients as Pond's, with one hero ingredient added at a low concentration to justify the price. When you open the INCI of those creams, the similarity is hard to ignore. And finally, the fifth product is fractionated coconut oil. Fractionated coconut oil is coconut oil from which the long-chain fatty acids have been removed. What remains is a medium-chain triglyceride oil, primarily caprylic and capric acid, that is liquid at room temperature, has a dry texture that absorbs quickly and doesn't go rancid easily. Why am I including it on this list? Because there are high-priced facial serums that use fractionated coconut oil as their carrier base, add a low-concentration active extract, and charge $80 to $100. The oil alone, purchased at a drugstore or natural cosmetic store, moisturizes, has well-documented emollient properties, and can be mixed with 1 or 2 drops of a specific active you already have, like vitamin C or rosehip oil, to create a functional serum at a fraction of the cost. For mature skin looking for radiance and a smoother texture without the heaviness of a dense cream, applying a few drops of fractionated coconut oil before your regular moisturizer can transform skin texture within weeks of consistent use. And here is the pattern that connects all 5 products. None of them depend on an exotic, hard-to-obtain, or expensive-to-produce ingredient. Urea, glycerin, petroleum jelly, ascorbic acid, fractionated coconut oil, All of them are basic cosmetic chemistry industry ingredients, available at large scale, with decades of documented use. What luxury creams have exclusively is the packaging, the brand story, the shelf space in a high-end store, and marketing designed to make the elevated price read as evidence of quality. That doesn't mean all expensive creams are ineffective. There is real innovation in some luxury lines, especially in active ingredient delivery systems and in specific synthesized peptides. But the relationship between price and actual efficacy is much weaker than the market wants you to assume. That's exactly why the way to make informed decisions is to read the INCI, the ingredient list, identify the active ingredient doing the real work, and ask yourself whether there's a version of that active at an equivalent concentration for less money. Very often there is, and very often it's at your neighborhood drugstore. So what should you change in your routine after watching this video? Probably nothing dramatic. The idea isn't to throw out everything you have and replace it with cheap products. The idea is to understand which active ingredient is doing the work in each product you use and evaluate whether you're paying for that active or for the box it comes in. If you have an expensive cream that gives you clear results and you can afford it, that argument is still valid. But if you have it because you feel that expensive equals better, or because the jar is beautiful, it's worth taking a closer look at what's actually inside. The 5 products we covered today, Nivea's Urea Cream, The Ordinary's Vitamin C Serum, Glycerin Lotion, Petroleum Jelly, or Pond's Cold Cream, and Fractionated Coconut Oil, cover humectation, antioxidant protection, barrier reinforcement, and texture improvement. Those are the 4 basic functions of any facial and body skincare routine. All of that for a fraction of the price of a single luxury cream. But there is, without question, one territory where price can more clearly justify itself, and that's sunscreens with advanced filter technologies or with specific textures designed for difficult skin types. Real innovation exists there, and there are measurable differences between product tiers. If you want us to review that with the same standard we use today, let me know in the comments. And tell me, do you have an inexpensive product you've been using for a long time that you feel outperforms much more expensive creams? I'm genuinely interested in reading those comments because that collective information is extremely valuable for upcoming videos. See you in the next one.